Samuel Jackson. We was in Portofino, we had finished dinner one time. We walking back to go get on this boat. Hey, you're Samuel Jackson, I want to take a picture.
Black stereotypes and caricatures played by Steve Harvey and Tiffany Haddish have been criticized by Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel has been an outspoken supporter of black artists' rights and a champion of black empowerment for many years. But he just came clean about a worrying trend among some black artists. They use their platform to encourage harmful practices that portray people in a negative light rather than using it for good. Samuel and Steve Harvey have had a long-running feud, so it's little wonder he has nothing nice to say about Steve. However, Cat Williams isn't the only artist who has criticized Steve and Tiffany for their blackness performance, claiming that they are plants and sellouts in the industry. But are Tiffany Haddish and Steve Harvey genuinely portraying black stereotypes? What is Samuel L. Jackson's opinion on the matter? Well, stay tuned and subscribe now, because we are about to find out.
Name something you'd hate to come outside and find on your car.
Well, Steve, I done found a lot of things on my car, but I'm gonna go with a ticket.
Throughout the years, the show has featured black women who have been only passing through. Taraji P. Henson's moving confessions about being lowballed in Hollywood have reignited the conversation about racism in the entertainment industry. There was already a lot of talk about black musicians who perpetuate damaging stereotypes before a number of black artists spoke about it. Naturally, industry plants Tiffany Haddish and Steve Harvey are two of the accused sellouts. Some have seen that Steve and Tiffany are contributing to white people's stereotypes of black people by making them seem stupid and too vocal. When Samuel L. Jackson joined in, slamming Steve and Tiffany for being racist caricatures, the discussion became much more serious. Now, as an outstanding and renowned actor and a significant voice in the black rights movement, Samuel L. Jackson's remarks on race and racial profiling carry weight among the black community.
What's the magic word, motherfucking? He done said it so hard.
Fans aren't exactly shocked to hear Samuel confront Steve, though due of their troubled past. Before Bernie's death, Samuel L. Jackson and Bernie were very good friends. In a way, Samuel inherited Bernie's grudge with Steve, as any good bestie would. Because of this, Samuel no longer has faith in Steve's reputation in the workplace and the public eye. Samuel L. Jackson made history in the early 2000s as the first black actor to portray Steve Harvey on the original Kings of Comedy tour, which featured Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, and D.L. Hughley. The group was unable to work together ever again due to the friction produced by Steve's purported jealousy of Bernie. Cedric claims that the group was unable to reunite because its members' inflated egos prevented them from ever seeing eye to eye. So why did Steve and Bernie really despise one another? Supposedly, Steve was envious of Bernie's wit and class since Bernie could hold an audience's attention while he cracked jokes that Steve couldn't help but ridicule. This led to allegations that Steve attempted to undermine Bernie and steal his jokes. When it comes to undermining the success of other black comedians, Cat Williams has gone on record as saying that Steve Harvey is complicit in the Hollywood agenda of emasculating black men by making them wear dresses on television. Although Steve was aware of the negative impact the outfit would have on the black community, Cat claims he insisted that Cedric the Entertainer wear it on television nevertheless. Cat thinks the black community would benefit from seeing more women in Hollywood wearing dresses. The garment is an example of the extreme measures taken by black male artists in Hollywood to achieve fame and fortune, saying that a black man in a dress is the most absurd thing imaginable. He even went after Kevin Hart for wearing the same. During his latest interview at Club Shay Shay, Cat took aim at several comedians, including Steve.
Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows.
Cat claims that Steve lacked any real talent and that his success came from being an industry plant who had traded his soul for fame. Steve was a black man dressed in a dress, according to Cat. Among the comedians who Cat attacked in his most recent interview with Club Shay Shay was Steve. Not only that, but he brought up the fact that he exposed Steve's baldness in front of 10,000 people during their comedy war called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy, humiliating Steve to the point that he abandoned stand-up comedy. At the same time, Steve had earlier asserted that he had 7 TV shows when he left stand-up comedy, but Kat refuted this. On top of that, Steve Harvey has recently held some extremely problematic views, including those that are openly sexist. Steve once said, "Why do men cheat?" As an example, the true reason is that a lot of women are eager to cheat with them. Ignore the fact that some of the women he is disparaging are actually paying customers. You cannot stop a guy, was all he had to say when asked to advise ladies on how to turn away suitors. We commit once a guy shows interest. What you do is of no concern to us. Given Steve's past with women, he has no business granting them his permission to do as he pleases. That's a tale for another time. He is not the kind of person who would ever offer such counsel. Steve has also come under fire for supposedly corrupting atheists and calling them immoral. If a man you're chatting with says he doesn't believe in God, you should just end the conversation. That's his opinion. Are you attempting to have a meaningful conversation with an atheist? Who or what is his moral compass? Who or what are you relying on for your sense of right and wrong as an atheist? The fact that this viewpoint perpetuates racist stereotypes about black people and their lack of intelligence is outside the scope of this discussion. Now, there's a long list of reasons why people are sick and tired of Tiffany Haddish's antics. Let's begin with the fact that Tiffany's performance at the VMAs last year was so embarrassing that everyone felt bad for her. At the 2023 Video Music Awards, Tiffany was seen chasing after Shakira, yelling her name out loud and capturing photos of her whenever possible.
Shakira! Shakira!
According to some who were there that night, she relentlessly pursued Shakira. And what's even worse is, the news evidently did not make Shakira very happy. Fans vented their frustration at Tiffany on social media when the videos and photographs went public, claiming that she was acting disrespectfully and reinforcing societal prejudices about black women. However, Tiffany has additional resources from which to draw, as her reaction was even more startling. As if people were merely envious of her, she chose to ignore the possibility that her actions have irritated Shakira. "My thoughts are racing right now," she tweeted. "I appreciate everyone's help in elevating my profile. Because they so much want to be in my position, I can see it driving them insane. Do not expect it. Oh my goodness." Kat said Tiffany didn't have enough talent to make creative jokes that people could easily spot because she hadn't toured or performed. He thought Tiffany hadn't proven herself as a comedian. Kat never liked Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany kept on cracking jokes to a boisterous audience for hours. You probably struggled with that. Kat noted that Tiffany's biggest part, Girls Trip, was not her idea because she was given the script and forced to act it. Kat continued by explaining how racism and colorism contributed to Tiffany's success. Kat stated Tiffany was cast because she fit the black stereotype of ghetto and ratchet. He also alleged Tiffany was passed over for more skilled black female comedians because she was light-skinned and willing to work with white men. People ignored Kat's advice and hated him for allegedly trying to bring down a black woman.
Kevin Hart done went 25 years without ever being in the same building with me.
On the Breakfast Club, Kevin Hart called Kat an angry, jealous junkie who blamed Tiffany for all his issues rather than taking responsibility. Kat hauled Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish on Club Shay Shay despite that Kat described Kevin as an industry plant with no surprises. He then dubbed Kevin a gatekeeper, saying other gatekeepers opened the gate for him and he is opening it for Tiffany. Tiffany Instagrammed her response to Kat's insult. Kat's comments seemed to bother her as she addressed the issue in her next stand-up routine, saying,
"That's true. They wouldn't let me perform on the white nights in the Comedy Store, but I performed on all the black nights."
Fans were on Kat's side this time, so nobody listened to her cry. Not sure what to say. Tiffany's recent accomplishments make her seem like an industry plant. Tiffany appears to get away with scandals that would cancel or imprison other black musicians, critics say. Tiffany and fellow comedian Aris Spears were sued in 2022 for forcing a 7 and 14-year-old to perform sexual activities in a comedic routine. The suit identified Tiffany as a long-standing family acquaintance who met the victims through their mother. Tiffany reportedly convinced the youngsters and their mother that the act was a harmless Nickelodeon sizzle reel. One child called their mother to say he didn't want to film because he was uneasy. Tiffany and Aris allegedly traumatized and stole the kids' youth. They developed severe trust issues. Tiffany addressed the scandal on Instagram. Her lawyer termed the complaint ridiculous and money-grabbing. Without warning, the plaintiffs asked to dismiss the claim and made a weird statement. Tiffany was rumored to have committed a crime. Tiffany discreetly reconciled with the family. Tiffany verified these allegations when she said the lawsuit cost her everything. All her deals ended. Nobody would work with her and she spent everything on legal expenses and settlement. But isn't it weird that many people didn't know about this issue because it died down virtually immediately? She was never canceled or punished. Well, basically, Tiffany returned for Girls Trip 2, her greatest gig a year later. Many threatened to boycott the film if Tiffany was deleted. Tiffany grooming youngsters was absurd. They said because our black artists like Kanye were cancelled and lost all their deals for expressing the truth. Hollywood silence supports Tiffany's industry plant status, so she has higher-ups support since she paints black people negatively. Now, Samuel L. Jackson has always been admired as a black community leader and a role model for young black males. He has repeatedly criticized industry racism and black actor profiling. Samuel told The Guardian about this role as Abel Turner in the smash Lakeview Terrace and how he had to work hard to portray him. In the film, Abel, a disturbed African-American cop, tries to evict a nice interracial couple who moved in next door. Samuel cautioned viewers not to perceive Abel Turner as a racial bully who harassed others during the interview. He said Abel was more complex than people assume. He said, "Not crazy. Clearly racist. He's a troubled man who requires everyone to follow his rules. Those are his strengths and weaknesses." Remember that Samuel L. Jackson collaborated with Martin Luther King and maintained the battle after MLK's death. Samuel received the Chairman's Award at the 53rd NAACP Image Awards in 2002 for his work in the Black Rights Movement and using his position to inspire change. Thrilling, right? Want to know more? Click on the next video now.